What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. We're going to talk about carbs a little bit again today because I'm so fucking sick and tired of hearing people talk about, Jerry, I need my carbs, I need carbs, oh my god, carbs. I just don't know, I don't understand, I need to have at least 500 grams of carbs a day and I weigh 120 pounds. I'm just fucking tired of it. First of all, let's back things up a little bit. So I went to the LA Fit Expo and people were like, dude, holy shit, you got lean fast. How? Okay, I can explain that. Now, let's see which direction we're going over here. When I decided I was going to lean out, one of the things that I manipulated the most was carbohydrates. Carbohydrate cycling, I did keto for a little bit. The bottom line is too many people eat too many fucking carbohydrates. And I get people asking me, Jerry, when should I eat my carbohydrates? I'm like, you're eating 500 grams of fucking carbs a day. It doesn't matter. You're eating too much. It doesn't matter when the fuck you eat them. When you eat them matters. It matters when you eat them, whether you're lean or you're not lean. But as you get leaner, that's when it really, changes to when you're supposed to eat the carbs, or when's the most efficient time to eat the carbs and what carbs to eat. Fructose, complex carbs, sugar carbs, all these things do make a difference. And there are a lot of people that are like, oh, Jerry, so-and-so. Well, you know what? I got to see some of these people that I normally hadn't seen this weekend at the LA Fit Expo. And I'll tell you one thing. These people don't look like you think they look. They don't look as good as they do in the videos with all the lighting and fucking angles, nor do they look like the filtered pictures that they tell you about. And I can almost guarantee you that they're not eating those 500 grams of carbs that they're telling you about. I can almost fucking guarantee it. Especially because they're fucking thin, and they do have a decent amount, a little bit of fat on them anyways, unless they're dieted down specifically for a show or a shoot or something like that. So let's back up for 1 second. When I talk about carbs and manipulating carbs, and people go, Jerry, you cut carbs right now? Honestly, I'm eating per day. On my average day, I'll have, let's see, so it's 25 grams of carbs before my workout in a fructose form. And I'll have 35 grams of carbs after my workout in a complex carbohydrate form. So add that shit up. How many grams of carbs is that a day? And I haven't been there a scale, but I'm bigger than most people that are asking me this question. If I'm eating that many grams of carbs a day and I'm doing cardio and training, why the fuck do you need 500 grams of carbs and you're not as lean as I am? Plain and simple. You're either eating too much fat, too much carbs, you're not training hard enough, you're not doing cardio, and there's a bunch of different things, but I keep getting that carbohydrate thing, the push, carbs, and I'm like, carbs are not a magical fucking thing. Like, you don't eat carbs and all of a sudden magically burn fat. You don't eat carbs and all of a sudden magically get fucking lean. And like, it's not the more carbs you eat, the leaner you get. Could that happen when you speed up your metabolism to a certain point? But even then, there's going to be a limit on how many carbs you can fucking eat. Now, let's back up for a second and explain this. And I think we need to learn, you guys, something. We need to do some learns today. There is essential fatty acids, essential amino acids. There is no essential glucose or carbohydrates. Why? Because the body doesn't fucking need it to survive. Just because it's an easier source for it to use other than fats doesn't mean you fucking need it. There are no essential carbohydrates or glucose that your body needs. Your body can make fats, okay? It can make fats from too many calories. It can make it from proteins and carbs. Your body can make carbohydrates from protein. Your body can not make amino acids from carbohydrates and fats. So there are certain things your body you have to take in because you need it to survive, to live, sure as fuck to build muscle, that you don't just your body doesn't produce amino acids. Now there are essential fatty acids, which means they're essential. You got to put them in your fucking body to live. If you don't, you get fucked up. There's nothing essential about carbohydrates. You can never eat another carb the rest of your fucking life, and you're not going to die. You maybe feel like shit for a little bit, but once you're adapted, you're going to be just fine with those ketones. So now, going back to, the LA Fit Expo, I got there and people were, even Phil Heath was like, damn, man, you got lean, fuck, like, people are saying stuff, and, I put up that, the video, a day in the life of, and I show what it looks like to look flat and dry in the morning and then bloated at night. And even my bloated is pretty much leaner than a lot of people who are watching these videos going, how the fuck did you get lean? And I'll tell you right now what I did. In 4 or 5 weeks, I decided, I'm going into the LA Fit Expo. I can't train as hard as I used to with the weights I used to keep on the mass. So my new thing is I need to reinvent myself. I don't want to just be fucking Joe Normal. What am I going to do? I have good shape genetically. I've always had good symmetry. I've always been one of the better shaped guys in the light heavyweight class or the heavyweight class. So I have natural gifted as far as shape. So why don't I just use that and stay lean now? Let's just get lean. Fuck it. And after I decided to do that, which it wasn't like, hey, I'm going to get lean on Monday, starting Monday. It was like Tuesday. I was like, hey, I'm going to get lean at like fucking 8 o'clock at night. My next meal, I started my diet. So basically what I did was I manipulated my carbs, and I had only fruit during the day, because your body uses liver glycogen for most of your energy sources through the day. It's not, unless you're exercising, it's not using a whole lot of muscle glycogen. Complex carbohydrates, which refuel the muscles quicker, faster, easier, more efficiently after the workout. And then the rest of the day, depending on how much activity I did, I would either have fruit again, or I would have no carbohydrates, depended on what I was doing. So I would actually just replace what I was using, which is the whole point of carbohydrates. If your liver is full and your muscles are full, packing in 500 grams, you ain't storing 500 fucking grams of carbs in your body. Unless you're super active with a super fast metabolism, you're gonna store it as fat. Some people out there, you know, they need that, but I mean, not everybody. I mean, I can get these people, they're contacting me going, trying to get lean, let me hire you. They hire me, and next thing you know, I'm like, why are you eating 500 grams of carbs if you're 15% body fat? You know, you're eating 100 grams of fat, 500 grams of carbs, and 100 grams of protein. Like, your fucking macros are whacked right now. That's why you're not getting results. So it changed day to day, depending on my activity level, what I was doing. There were days that I did 45 minutes of cardio in the morning, days I did 20 minutes of cardio in the morning. There were days I did 35 minutes of cardio in the morning, 30 after my workout. Well, not even after my workout. What I would do is after my workout, I would replenish the carbohydrates that I used during the workout, and then 2 hours later, I do another cardio session of 20 or 30 minutes. So there were days that I did 2 sessions. There were days that I dropped into keto for a certain amount of days at a time. There were other days that I upped the carbs dramatically because I felt like I was too flat and I was about to go into a more catabolic state than I was already in, or muscle loss. So you see, for me, it's very instinctive, but you guys got to understand, carbs are not essential. You do not need them. And they are the key. Well, I shouldn't say carbs alone. Carbs and the types of fats you take in are the key to getting lean fast, okay? That's the key word, fast, efficiently, and maintaining it, okay? Those are the 3 things that people really want to know about. I mean, anybody can fucking lose weight, but who wants to wait a year to lose 20 pounds and get ripped? Most people want to do it by the time spring break comes or summer comes or whatever, and then they want to maintain it. Well, if you want to maintain it, you're going to have to control your carbohydrates and what type of fats you take in according to what you're doing during the day. It has to meet your needs. And I don't mean that you sit down and calculate some bullshit with some fucking thing online that says, what do you do? Are you active? Okay, well then put number 3 here because you're active. How many times a week do you work out? 4, we'll put the number 10 here, and then it adds it up, it gives you a formula and tells you need fucking 4,700 calories, you know, and you're still fucking fat. I mean, these calculations are out there, and so many people are using them, but then you fucking come hire me because they're not working. You know, I've seen MyFitnessPal where it tells you like a calorie thing when you first sign up. It tells you what you should be eating for your goals and stuff. I've actually had people that were using MyFitnessPal and they punch their stuff in just to keep track of it, and MyFitnessPal yells at them. It turns red. It's like, stop. You are going to weigh 33 pounds in 30 days if you keep this up. Like, it honestly doesn't have a fucking concept. Even with the calories in, calories out, I think you're going to fucking drop dead in like 2 weeks if you fucking eat 20 less grams of fucking carbohydrates than you were supposed to. It's amazing the bullshit that's out there. So be aware. Carbohydrate types, timing, and it has to match your activity level of what you're doing. Certain types of fats that you're going to take in. And what I mean by that, I didn't even make this clear. Poly and monounsaturated can burn much easier as a fuel source than saturated fats. Saturated fats will burn as a fuel source, and I'm not saying they're bad for you, but they are harder to break down. We want efficiency. We want efficiency, and we want to get it done fucking fast. We do not want to sit around and make our bodies work harder to get the same result as if we took in a different type of fat. It's the same result, it works faster, and it's easier on your body. You only want to, this is true with cardio, diet, training, everything. You only want to do what you have to do to get the result. Which means if you have to do 25 minutes to get lean of cardio, you don't want to do an hour. It means if you can go in there and stimulate your chest in 3 sets in a workout, you don't have to do 25. You don't want to do that. You're going backwards if you do that. So be aware, it all works together, but just be careful of the people out there talking about these fucking so many carbohydrates, blah, 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 all this bullshit, and all these fucking calculations, and they're fucking making your head spin. Go back to the basics. Essential aminos, essential fatty acids. There are no essential carbohydrates. You remember those 3 things, that puts it into perspective a lot better than all these calculations. bios3training@gmail.com. Leave comments down below. I know you guys are going to have questions and stuff about this one. www.bios3training.com is a blog, and it's the essential, non-essential bicep, and we're out.